are live. We are
Yes.
right here. Okay. Hey, Dreamaniacs. How you going? You're watching Dreamaniac TV, and this is, I was going to say Business Insights now. This is Money Mindset Matters on the Almost Naked Conversation with me, Szebastian Onne, and Eleni Anastos, the founder of Business Insights Now. This is a show where we talk about money. We talk about
Yes.
the love and romance of money because we're not ashamed to love and romance money. There's
No.
nothing wrong with loving money. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But before that, I just want to introduce ourselves. So, Eleni, please, ladies first.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you. If you're watching us live, we're grateful that you found the time. And if you're listening to this in replay, still thank you for taking the time. I'm Eleni Anastos, the founder of Business Insights Now, and we specialize in helping people uncover money blocks so they can grow and learn in ways they never thought possible, because money impacts all of us. And I'm on a mission to help people feel more in control of money in their life.
Absolutely. And if you're tuning in right now, I am Sebastian One. I'm the Almost Naked CEO, and I call myself as the male Olivia Pope of branding, public relations, and growth of business. So if
Yes.
your brand is suffering or if you're launching a new brand, just contact me and we'll talk about it. And as Eleni just mentioned about um, having a healthy relationship about money, block and removing the blocks about money. That's something how Eleni and I connected, and that's what we talk about in this show, Money Mindset Matters, on the Almost Naked Conversation with me, Sebastian One, and in this case, my co-host Eleni Anastos, who has brought this brand ambassador series. But before we start, let's make sure if you are watching right now, please comment #live. Hi, Alicia. How you going? Excited to have you here too. Um, Please comment #live and let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you will be watching replay, please comment #replay. Still tell us where you're watching it from. We love to know where people are. Hi, Maddie. How you going? Thank you. We're looking forward to bringing some good content for you as well. I believe Maddie is your connection, Eleni. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go. Hey, Alicia, thank you for watching live. And please let us know, do you have a healthy relationship with money? Do you know that you can have a relationship with money? And Eleni, everybody has a relationship with money, right? It's just
Without
whether it's a
question.
good or bad.
Right. Money impacts
And
all of us every day.
every single minute, I would say. And once again, before we begin, just gotta do the housekeeping. So
Mhm.
guys, tell us now if you're watching live, replay, where you're watching from, what's your weather like, and most importantly, I just want to quickly give a shout out to our sponsors. This show has been brought to you by our proud sponsors, Red Carpet CEO Alicia Curry, and Business Insights Now by Eleni Anastos, Sebastian Inspire Business Services, that is my brand, as well as Coach AC Williams,
AM.
who has co-authored the book Resilience. Can you remind me the name, Eleni? I forget.
It is. It's okay because I just made the connection. It is Coach AM Williams. I know you have a lot of ACs in your world.
I
But Coach,
know.
Coach AM Williams co authored the book Resilience: How to Turn a Setback into a Comeback.
Amazing. That book title itself says a lot. So these are all our sponsors, and this show is brought to you by Dreamaniac TV, and this is being broadcasted, live stream broadcast by BeLive.tv. That's our preferred live streaming partners. So now let's begin the conversation.
Well,
And
can we make sure that
please go ahead.
everybody is watching on the Dreamaniac TV page so we can see their comments?
Oh, absolutely. So, guys, anywhere else you're watching right now, this is being broadcasted to more than 39. In fact, I think it's now 41 pages. And that's
Yes.
more than 200,000 potential audience. So, and that's why sponsors come to us because they have such a great exposure there. So if you're watching anywhere else right now, please come to facebook.com/Dramaniac TV and you'll be able to tune in and you'll be able to comment. We can see your
Yes.
comments. We can interact with you. If you're watching anywhere else, we will not even know. We will still love that you've watched, and we'll be
Yes.
able to check it later. But there will be no interactive play, and we'd like to, you know, do this interactively with you.
Yes.
Thank you for reminding me that, Eleni.
Yes.
It's all about really making the connection and doing the money right. It's again money, right? Thank you, Maddie, from watching from Clearwater Beach. And thank you, Maddie. You've actually been watching every episode, so we really appreciate you.
Very much.
Okay, so Eleni, we're talking about money, and this week we're actually talking about entrepreneurs and money.
Yes.
And well, it's a given. If you're an entrepreneur, money, money is everything in there. But entrepreneurs have quite a bit of challenges. I think half of their challenges, failure, success depends on what their relationship with money is, right?
Yes.
So do you want to elaborate a little bit about their relationship with money? Hi, Alicia. Thank you for tuning in from Maryland.
There are a lot of common challenges that we see with entrepreneurs, and some of the biggest challenges we see, first of all, it's the underpricing and undercharging. And if you continue to do that, then obviously you can't sustain any business growth. I mean, can you relate to that? Have you ever undercharged yourself, Szebastian, for any of your wonderful services? And how did you feel after that?
Well, actually, it's a great question. And not only I undercharged, I have to say, learned the hard way, regretted it. Sometimes, this is going to sound both funny and scary and very concerning. At times, I charged people something that was below my cost. Now I know why I did that. Now I know why that was bad. And Alicia says she has as well. And that's exactly it. Like, we do it. But at the time, it felt like, oh, this is what I've got to do. This is what my only choice is. And that wasn't the case. It was a choice I was making because of the money mindset I had, because how I saw money, how I saw business. And, as you asked, there was a time, and I can give example. There are different factors, Eleni. Sometimes it's sentiments because it's friends. And with friends, I used to struggle a lot charging them. That was the biggest struggle when it comes to my pricing. But there was also, there were times when, because I felt like, what if I lose the customer? What if this is my only chance? And that, mindset of being scared, that mindset of, and you helped me recently on that as well. So
and it's a scarcity mindset, and it's so common. And I've heard countless entrepreneurs say, I can't charge premium fees because no one will pay them. When that's really a limiting belief, because if it keeps you playing small, if it makes you feel, disempowered and small in any way, then it's limiting. When the reality is, you can flip that belief. You can turn it around to empowering, because I always tell clients, if you get stuck in that, oh, I can't do this, it's so hard, just ask yourself, what if you could? Like, what if you could charge those premium fees and get them? What if?
But I have to ask though, why do people, and especially the starting entrepreneurs, if I've just started the business, family, young person out there just starting off, and I want to do my own business rather than working for others, why is it that we feel that fear? Why is it that we have that scarcity mindset? Where does that come from? We are going in as an entrepreneur. We know we are going to work for money. We're going to play with money. So why is that scarcity mindset?
The scarcity mindset, often we've adopted from when we were very, very young. You could have witnessed your parents saying, there's never enough to go around. We have to do whatever it takes to make ends meet. And so if you're raised with that, and again, I mean no disrespect, I think everybody does the best they can do with what they have. But if you stay in that headspace, then that's all you're going to attract. Where instead of saying, no one will pay my premium fees, what if you focused on, people will think because I charge premium fees that I provide a quality service.
Right. And people don't usually see that. And Alicia is saying, I have so many friends say the clients will go elsewhere and some money is better than nothing because they're in survival mode as single parents, etc. And that's the thing. That's what I had, and I think that's where I'd like you to help people understand But having that mindset, like, oh, something is better than nothing. I think that's where the problem lies, right?
And it gradually wears at you and takes a toll. I had a client who had said, I'm sick and tired of lowering my fees just to get a customer. And he realized, he was frustrated, he was angry, he was mad at himself, but then he also wasn't attracting the ideal clients that appreciated his skill and expertise. So I know what it's like to be hungry. I do know what it's like to wonder, how am I going to pay the bills next month? Without question. I know a lot of us have been there and worse off. But there has to be a point, if you're looking long-term, you want longevity, you want sustained growth, that you have to draw that line and say, I cannot keep undervaluing myself. Because again, that long-term business growth, it's not going to happen if you keep undercharging and undervaluing yourself. So that in general, right, I think is that's the biggest challenge that we see. And I'm going to talk about again at the end a little bit of how to start transforming that. But I also wanted to share another big challenge that I see for entrepreneurs is just that inconsistent income. It's like they're on a roller coaster, like, hey, we did really well this month. And then the next 2 months are dry, and then it's good, and then it's bad. Have you experienced that as a business owner?
Absolutely have. But before we go forward, I actually want to acknowledge some comments, really great comments coming in, Eleni, on things that you're saying. So let's just share that. So Alicia is agreeing, saying, agree, Eleni, but they resist that so much, that trying to move away from that scarcity mindset. And there are some other comments as well. So producer, if you can put up some comments, and we just want to acknowledge everybody who's sharing their, So Angelita, sorry. Hi there, everyone. Much love, live from North Dakota. Thank you, Angelita, for always tuning in. You're great. And Alicia says, I have. Often I give advice instead of scheduling an appointment without realizing it. And oh my God, I used to do that a lot. Yes. Schedule things, give advice, all of that. And you know what? Right after that call, I was like, why did I do that? That was my money. That was my bread. Why did I do that? And Alicia further says, I have to get in a habit of saying, let us look at my schedule and we can discuss it further. That's right, Alicia. Eleni, do you want to give her a little bit a piece of nugget here, a golden nugget?
I can relate to that so well because I did that quite often when I first started in my own business, and it was exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. But then I realized, people are projecting their limited beliefs about money onto you because they want you to come down instead of you raising them up. And then I learned that boundaries, like literally standing your ground, saying, I would be so happy to help you with that. Here's the investment. Now, you can, of course, offer savings or whatnot, if you will, when it's a friend or somebody like that. No problem. I appreciate that. But it still has to be an investment because to me, you're also not allowing that person the chance to step up to the plate, to stand in their power. If you keep giving it away, you're getting angry with yourself, you're losing money, but you're also robbing that person again of the chance to step into their own power and make it happen. Because can you think of a time where you wanted something so badly and you thought, how am I going to make it happen? I don't have any money, but you figure it out. You figure it out. That's right.
And it's amazing, Eleni. I have to say, I know you've asked me a question. I want to answer that, but people are just sharing so many thoughts about what you're just saying. So I want to acknowledge that because this is why this show is, so you can help these people and coach and understand. So Alicia is also saying, I believe you're a great coach for single entrepreneurial women because you have been through it. That's so true. And guys, there's an entire story. So if you want to watch, please go and watch Women Unleashed and Audacious Confidence and Almost Naked Conversation shows where Eleni has shared her story as well. And there are some other comments as well. So let's just see what else is coming in. And after these comments are done, Eleni, do ask me the first question you did ask because I want to still answer that. It's just that there's so many comments coming in and I'm just going, okay, cool. Okay.
All right.
So looks like that was it for now. So what was your question again, Eleni, before the comments started coming in?
Can you recall a time where you really wanted to do something? Maybe it was purchase something, go somewhere, and you didn't currently have the funds, or you couldn't see how to get the funds, but you made it happen because you wanted it bad enough. You figured it out.
Oh, a lot of times, a lot of times. And I think it's again goes back to when I know and when I am clear, when I know that what exactly I wanted, I worked for it, I got it. And it's funny, you say that when I really needed something, suddenly I forgot the scarcity, and I became so focused on my goal
Yes.
that I literally
Yes.
upped my pricing because what I needed, and I
Yes.
didn't care if people will buy. I was like, well, I need this, and if I need to survive, I need this money. So people are going to have to pay what I'm asking for. I am
Yes.
worth it. And it's funny how the negative situation of a need, of a necessity, actually changed my mindset into something positive, and finally finding my own worth,
Yes.
realizing what I'm worth.
Yes.
And people paid. No objections. People paid because they saw value. And
Yes.
Andre, I think it's, oh yes, it's Coach A.M. Williams.
Oh, great.
Sound wisdom, Eleni, you're the best at what you do. There you go.
Thank
And
you.
guys, if you're watching, Coach A.M. Williams is one of our sponsors for today's show, and we'll give you more details during break again.
Yes.
So yes, it has happened. Well, Eleni, while we're talking about this, I also have to say, when people are pricing themselves and they're undercharging themselves, there's another issue that happens with that. People notice that their monthly income is very inconsistent. One
Yes.
month it's wow, it's amazing, it's like wow, and they're celebrating, and I've done that. And
Mm-hmm.
next month it's down. And the problem here, in my view, is not why it's down. The problem here is I did not even know how did it go up.
Right.
So yeah, this is
That's a
where
big
I need
issue.
you.
That's a big issue for entrepreneurs, especially. I talk about the law of cause and effect. And yes, it's great. You made 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 this month, whatever the amount is. But if you don't know your numbers, if you don't have a close relationship with the money, you don't know why. Could it be that you did raise your fees? Could it be that you made 10 times as many sales calls as you did the month before? Could it be that your conversion rate has increased? You need to know why you were successful so you can duplicate it month after month. Instead of being an unconscious competent, you want to be conscious about what is happening. And that's why I encourage
Right.
people to have what I call money dates.
Right.
Just like you pay attention to a significant other on a date, once a week or at least once every 2 weeks, I strongly suggest that people, what I call, date their money. Sit down,
Oh,
look at all your accounts and see what's coming in, paying attention to those
that's
numbers.
very interesting. I've never seen that this way before. So I'm interested in that. Before that, I want to acknowledge Alicia just said conscious incompetent, right?
Yeah.
And also, we will talk more about the money date. It's amazing how quickly the time passes. It's already time for break. So we're going to go for a couple of minutes break, and we'll be right back, guys. And we're going to talk more about dating the money. I'm just so amazed about that phrase, Eleni. I need to know more. So we'll be back, guys, in just a couple of minutes. Thank you. And
what a great show we're having today on this wonderful day. We are here on Dreamaniac TV talking about Money Mindset Matters. This is episode 2 with Eleni Anastos and Szebastian Onne. And this episode is proudly sponsored by Red Carpet CEO Consulting by Alicia Curry, Business Insights Now, your money mindset experts, Szebastian Inspire, Influential Business Services Without Borders, Coach A.M. Williams, co-author of the best-selling book, Resilience, Turning a Setback into a Comeback, we're also going to have a special drawing for an autographed copy of that book later on in the show. So you are watching Dreamaniac TV broadcast from our preferred live stream partner, BeLive.tv. And to enter our drawing, check out Dreamaniac.com/draw. But wait till after the show because you don't want to miss what's coming up next with Szebastian and Eleni. So I'd like to bring them back to the show right now. Take it away, Szebastian.
Thank you so much, Alicia, for that. So that was a little break. And if you're just tuning in right now, you're watching Money Mindset Matters on the Almost Naked Conversation with Szebastian Onne. That's myself on Dreamaniac TV. And with me is my fabulous co-host and the brand ambassador of Dreamaniac TV. And we have brought a special series called Money Mindset Matters. It's the brand ambassador series by Eleni Anastos. So Eleni, we were talking about going on a date with money.
Yes.
I have never seen it that way. I've never heard it that way. I was dying in the break to go, what? Dating your money?
Well,
okay.
Well, then let me ask you. I mean, if you want a rich and rewarding relationship with your spouse, with a significant other, with your kids, with your friends, with your clients, don't you have to pay attention to them? So how can you expect to have a rich and rewarding relationship with money if you're too afraid to pay attention to it?
Oh, absolutely. Again, never saw it that way before. Never. I never saw romancing my money, but that is so true. If you want something, if you want someone, you got to pay attention to them. You've got to care for them. You've got to value them. And that's same thing. And I just want to go back a little bit since we're talking about dating the money and we're talking about caring and all that. People feel ashamed of saying they love money, and people feel embarrassed to say they're money minded. That's not a bad thing. We've spoken about this before as well, right? It's not a bad thing.
No, not at all. And in fact, in one of our future episodes, we're going to talk a lot about the shame and guilt connected with money, and especially around debt. But there's shame and guilt on both sides of the spectrum, whether it's having so much that you feel you almost should hide it, something's wrong if you want to make more, versus having debt in your life and feeling like something's wrong with you because that happened, when it's happened to all of us.
And especially, when I find it interesting when people do something charitable, or when people are actually pricing themselves or giving, doing things, and they apologize for that, for pricing themselves, and they actually, it's not about money for me. I just want to do this for you. They're selling. It is about money. You're trying to sell. Selling is about money, and then you're saying, oh, it's not all about money. I do this because I'm passionate. You can be passionate about what you do. I am very passionate about what I do, Eleni.
Yes.
But I do it for money. I do it for money. I have so many employees, their families. I have a business to run. I own 3 brands. Well, own 2 brands and co-own 1 brand. And all of that, if I just start saying and thinking, oh, it's not about money, then what is it about?
Yes.
I can do my charity. I put it this way, and you and I have spoken about this. Don't make your business your charity. As an entrepreneur, that's the one thing to understand. Your business is not your charity. Charity you can do because you have a great business, but your business is not your charity, right?
And AM supported that. Yes, AM, he said, not knowing your numbers is the same as repelling, the money that you want, which is so true. Because the more connected, what we focus on expands. So if you focus on bringing money in, if you focus on being connected to your numbers, then you're drawing it in. But if you are afraid to, in fact, it goes to one of the challenges we were also talking about, that there's a Teflon Money Affect, where a lot of a lot of entrepreneurs are capable of earning money. They can make a sale, but then it just quickly goes back out the door. Like Teflon, it doesn't stick to them. And that is because even though they have a good product or a service that they were able to sell, it's their relationship with the money that is out of alignment, and they're not sure how to keep it. Or they might pay more attention to top line revenue and not bottom line profit, when you've got to date all your numbers.
Right. And before we continue, I just want to remind people again, if you're watching right now, this is being broadcasted almost at 39, 40 pages, guys. 100,000 people who can watch this. So if you're watching anywhere else right now, we cannot see your comments if you're not at facebook.com/DreamaniacTV. So guys, please come to facebook.com/DreamaniacTV so we can see your comments. We can participate in everything you're saying. Until you come here, we don't know what you're saying. We will still go and respond to as many pages as we can.
Yes.
And even right now, Eleni, on your page as well, people are watching. So do you mind just reminding them where to come?
Yes. So please, if you're watching on my business page or my personal profile, come find us at Dreamaniac TV so we can see see your comments. Thank you.
Absolutely. And speaking of all of that, there's another thing that I have faced a lot, and I hear so many entrepreneurs, and I used to struggle with it. I actually have a similar case right now happening where client has a story about their money issues, and here's what happens. Client has a story, something is going on their end because of which money is a little bit difficult and all that. And that somehow becomes my problem, right? And I've been there, and I see a lot of entrepreneurs do that. So let me give you one example, and again, without naming any people or anyone. Even recently, around 4 or 5 months ago, a client always paid late, always had a reason. A couple of times, of course, I understood, the business is run by human beings. We are all human. So I understand. We have compassion. So of course, a couple of times they had hardship. I understood. And, I gave them more time, waived off their late fee charge and all that. But then I noticed a pattern. Every month, there was something happening. Every month, there was a story. I'm not saying it was false. I'm not saying it was an excuse. But what I'm saying is, I noticed that my client had a money mindset. My client had a money situation that was recurring, that was, repeating itself over and over and over again. And that affected my business. So I just want to, ask you, people in that situation, when client is creating that situation, for whatever reason, how do I handle that?
And that's going back to how important it is to have the boundaries. Because I've had clients come to me that say, "Oh, I really want to work with you. I can't afford it. Can we do something?" And I often ask them, is it that you don't have the money, or you really don't know how to access the money? Because sometimes they're just so stuck that it can only be done in one way, that talking them through it. Because I don't believe that you should just say, "Oh, that's okay, don't worry. We'll take care of it some other way." Because again, you're denying them the chance to step up to the plate. But if you go into that story with them, then I think eventually you both lose. So help the client be creative as to how to find the money, but be very cautious as to not jump into their story with them.
Right. And I think the biggest problem with that is once you do that, you become part of their story. Hi, Marshall Rose. She's just saying, "Hi, Miss Anastos. Maybe I'll see you back in Michigan and help me." Absolutely. That's what this show is for. We're here to help. So, yeah. And Eleni, so I just want to ask in terms of course, you have had, you have lots of clients who come up with all these issues. I know I'm going a little bit off track, but I just want to bring this in. You must have had many clients who come up with the same situation. The client is struggling with money, so I'm also struggling with money. What advice do you give them besides the boundaries, besides not becoming a part of the story? What advice or what steps do you give them to try and come out of their client situation and get the control back? Because it is about bringing back your own control, right? It is your business.
Absolutely.
So what can we do? What can we do to overcome that struggle?
And honestly, that freeing yourself from those limiting money beliefs has to be your biggest priority to have an income breakthrough, because it is a money belief that, well, if I don't help them, who will? Or if I don't lower my fees, I'm not going to make another sale, or, no one's going to pay me premium fees. Those are all limiting money beliefs. Because I've had clients, and I know we've talked about it, where, say, for example, someone's not their closing rate. They're getting people to talk to, but they're not closing very many sales. And they wonder, what's going on. You could hire the best sales coach, marketing strategies, you name it. But if you don't fix what's going on between your ears, like in the moment, say you just went through this great sales training, and then you have this hot new potential client, and it could be the biggest deal of your life. Right in the middle of that conversation, which one's going to have more power? Your mindset about, oh my God, I can't charge premium fees, or some wonderful new tactic that you just learned? Because the tactics and strategies are outside solutions to an inner problem. And in fact, I have put together, but it's not published yet, to help people. First of all, you have to identify whatever limiting beliefs you have. Is it, again, that there's never enough to go around? No one will pay my premium fees, or it's too hard to find clients. You have to identify which ones are holding you back and be able to transition those into empowering ones. But I've put together an exercise, if you will, that will help people do that, so they can reach out for that. And I'd be happy to send that to them. Our team will send it to them. Because again, doing the inner work first matters more than anything. And just the awareness, recognizing it. I'm sure you can relate to that.
And thank you, Bash. Thank you. She says great shows as always. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And since we're talking about, the worksheet or the tips you're saying, you and I are actually bringing an ebook next week on the next episode that people will be able to get for free. It's worth $29, but they'll get it for free if they watch the episodes, right? So guys, if you want to get that book, it will have lots of information about money mindset and branding. If you want to get 2-in-1, please make sure next episode and all future episodes keep signing in, because we're going to give limited number of have that book absolutely free. And speaking of which, talking about the books, we are also running a draw today. And that's, as you mentioned earlier, Eleni and Alicia as well, we are giving away autographed books of Coach A.M. Williams. And once again, I'm not good with the names. Can you please remind the name, Eleni?
The name of the book is Resilience, Turning a Setback into a Comeback.
And that title itself says a lot. So guys, if you have had setbacks, if you want to turn those setbacks into a comeback and have the resilience to be there, make sure to enter the draw. The draw will be open right after the show at Dreamaniac.com/draw, and all you have to do is just answer a question that's there and put in your details. And in next episode, we'll be announcing the winners. Clearly, I'm hungry. Well, I think I need to eat more money. Okay. But I know we're reaching very close to the wrap up. But before we go, I really want to ask one more question. Often entrepreneurs ask, why am I not closing enough sales? Why am I not closing enough deals? Sometimes it's great, but they feel like they're doing everything right. They feel like it's all going great, and yet it's just not enough sales they're closing. The conversation goes great. It looks like, okay, it's going to sell, but something happens in between, and suddenly it doesn't happen. If I was supposed to be, I was expecting there will be 20 sales this month, suddenly it's only 8. Why is that?
A lot of times what I've seen it for myself a long time ago, and I've seen it in people I've worked with. The difference between when you're out there and you just want to get something, I just want to get a client. I just want to get another commission check. I just want to get another paycheck. That getting energy is very off-putting. It repels people. But if you come from a place, because sales to me is being of service. I believe if I'm selling you something, I'm doing it for your benefit. I want to help you. So you honestly have to think about, do I just want to get a client? do I just want to get money in the door? Or are you coming from the headspace of, I'm doing this to help you? It's like putting a lovely dinner out on the table and you invite them over and they enjoy that versus just trying to get them in the door. Does that, I mean, can you relate to that?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And, you know, and that's exactly the thing that just you're almost there. And I think it goes back to, again, having that mindset, the scarcity mindset, that having that nervousness. Oh, am I going to close this? And I think it shows. It shows in your actions.
Yes.
While you're trying to sell, while you're trying to close, it shows that you're nervous. It shows you're underconfident. It shows something is going on. And the thing is, when I, as a seller, I'm looking underconfident, my buyer knows. And then not only they know, they also feel underconfident purchasing because they're like, I'm not sure. He's not so sure. So how can I be sure of his services or products? And that's where the problem is, right? So I, again, just want to remind people, guys, there's a draw going on. If you go to Dreamaniac.com/draw after the show, you will be able to get into a draw to win Coach A.M. Williams' co-authored book, Resilience, Turning a Setback into a Comeback. There you go. I'm getting there. So turning a setback into a comeback. And so you just have to answer a very simple question. We just want to know if you know who is the one and only ambassador of Dreamaniac TV. So answer that question in the draw, on the draw page, Dreamaniac.com/draw. Just let us know who is the brand ambassador of Dreamaniac TV. And here's a hint. I am not it, but she is right next to me. She's the founder of Business Insights Now. So Eleni, do you know who that is?
I think it's somebody that I'm familiar with, the person I usually see in the mirror.
Fair enough. Okay, so I just saw a comment back there. We're just going to wrap up. There you go. Coach A.M. Williams, who's our sponsor today, one of the sponsors, and he's saying, great discussion, guys. So glad you're having this conversation. You're helping so many. Keep winning. Thanks so much, Coach. And, you know, we need to talk more about this, and we're, you know, looking forward to seeing who is going to be the winner next week. And by the way, Coach A.M. Williams, you need to sign up for some of my shows as well to come up on the show and talk about it. So we've got to wrap up. If there is any other comments left, you know, quickly, let's see if we can, before we're wrapping up, we can. Alicia is saying Eleni. Well, it's Eleni. I get in trouble for that a lot. So it's Eleni. Hi.
It's all good. Okay.
So before we wrap up, I yes, spelling counts, especially me. I make sure people say Szebastian. It took me a long time to say Eleni. So yes, spelling counts. It's, again, for me, it's like money. If you don't identify me, we have problem. So it's E-L-E-N-I, Eleni. Thank you, Coach Williams. So before we wrap up, I just want to ask a final question for entrepreneurs out there who have these challenges. How can they get in touch with you to learn more, understand more outside these episodes as well?
Yes. You can find me at businessinsightsnow.com, business page on Facebook. You can email Eleni at businessinsightsnow.com. I'm also on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. So please do reach out, and I'd be happy to have a conversation. Let's just start a conversation, because I don't want to see people continue to struggle with money.
And I'm going to do a little plug in here. So guys, all that branding, all that presence of Eleni was done by Szebastian Inspire Business Services. So if you also want your business to get out there, contact us, and we both can help you in one way or other. So once again, before we wrap up, I just want to remind people this show was brought to you by Red Carpet CEO Alicia Khoury. She runs the productivity consulting business for corporates, and also by Szebastian Inspire, which is my business about branding, PR, and success growth for the team. And looks like my partner is lost. She'll be back in a second. I think there she is. So yes, guys, the other sponsors are I'm just because Eleni got rebooted, I got a little flustered. Sorry about that. So
No
other
worries.
sponsors are also, once again, I'll just do the sponsors again. Let's just wrap it up properly. So first, Red Carpet CEO Alicia Curry, and then we have Business Insights now by Eleni Anastos. Did I say the name right? I think I did. And Szebastian Inspire Private Limited Business Services, as well as Coach A.M. Williams, who's the co-author of the book Resilience, Turning a Setback into a Comeback, which is the book in a draw today. So please check out the draw within a few minutes after the show at Dreamaniac.com/draw. So this has been really good, Eleni. We have, it's amazing how quickly the time runs by.
Yes.
It seems like we just started. We just got started and it's over. So guys, if you're enjoying this show, please make sure to subscribe. Please comment, please subscribe. Please tag a friend who is going through these challenges. Any entrepreneur you know out there who's struggling with money, contact us, comment and share your questions. We would love to take your questions in the next episode and cover some of those as much as we can. And we will reply in the comments as well. So thank you so much, guys. And at Dreamaniac, here we'd like to say, you dream big and we make it happen.
Thank you so much.
Eleni.
Thank you so much.
Hey, guys.
Bye.